In the Bible, Armageddon is one of the most powerful and mysterious words ever spoken about the end of the world. It is mentioned only once in the entire Bible, in the book of Revelation chapter 16 verse 16, where it says, "And they gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon." Though it appears only once, the meaning behind it carries the weight of the final moment of human history, the last battle between good and evil, light and darkness, God and Satan. The word Armageddon comes from two Hebrew words, Har, which means mountain, and Megiddo, which is the name of an ancient city in the northern part of Israel. When you combine the two words, you get Har-Megiddo, meaning Mount of Megiddo. This place, Megiddo, was not just a random city. It was a real place where many great battles were fought in ancient times. In the Old Testament, Megiddo was a famous battlefield because it stood at a strategic point where major roads met. Kings and armies often fought there because whoever controlled Megiddo could control the routes of trade and war. Because of this, the name Megiddo became a symbol of war, conflict, and final struggles. When the book of Revelation uses the name Armageddon, it is not only describing a physical place, but also painting a picture of the final confrontation between the forces of God and the forces of Satan. Revelation tells us that in the last days, evil will reach its highest point. Satan will gather kings and nations to rebel against God. These powers will unite to fight against the Lord and his people, thinking they can defeat the Almighty. But according to the Bible, this will be the greatest and last mistake of all time. For when the armies of evil gather at Armageddon, the heavens will open and Christ will return as the victorious King of Kings. His coming will end all rebellion, destroy the powers of evil, and bring eternal justice. Many people imagine Armageddon as a terrible war involving nuclear weapons or global destruction. But in the Bible, the real meaning goes deeper than that. It is not only about human weapons or physical battles, but about the spiritual war that has been going on since the beginning of time. The war between good and evil, truth and lies, light and darkness. Armageddon represents the moment when God finally steps in to end that war forever. It is the final showdown that will decide the fate of the world. For believers, Armageddon is not a message of fear, but of hope. It shows that no matter how strong evil appears, it will never win. Satan may gather all his forces, deceive nations, and fill the world with violence. But in the end, the power of God will crush every form of wickedness. Revelation tells us that after the battle, Satan will be defeated and cast into the lake of fire. And there will be a new heaven and a new earth where peace, righteousness, and love will reign forever. Armageddon reminds us that this world, with all its pain and injustice, will not continue forever. God has set a time when he will judge the world and reward those who remain faithful to him. It is a warning to those who live in sin to turn back before it is too late. And it is a promise to those who walk with God that their faith will not be in vain. The message of Armageddon is both fearful and beautiful. Fearful because it speaks of judgment, and beautiful because it speaks of final victory and eternal peace. So when you hear the word Armageddon, remember that it means more than a battlefield or the end of the world. It means the victory of truth over falsehood, love over hatred, and light over darkness. It means that one day, God will bring all things to an end, not with fear and confusion, but with justice, power, and everlasting peace. And for those who trust in him, Armageddon is not the end. It is the beginning of a new and perfect world where God will wipe away every tear, and death and sorrow will be no more.